Allow Google Chrome.
What?
Allow Google Chrome.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit allow. Okay, you're good.
So, thank you. Welcome. Today, I'm on here to finish up my scarf. I started a few weeks ago, and I spent few moments in my days and night. A couple weeks ago, and I built this beautiful lattice flower here. Okay. Look at that. So I have about 5 feet long, as I am, I think. I'm like, so I'm gonna work a few more rows, and then I would finish up this half flower here. I wanted to build it at the corner here. Right here. See it? On this side right here, I have half flowers. See that? And I want to fill it up like I have on this side here. So in order to do that, I have to switch over on this side and work singly until to the end here. And then once I'm done filling up the half flowers, it will be a full flowers, and then I will add some frills with a little flowers, maybe 3 petals of this flower here. And it's just going to be dangler and going to be beautiful once it's finished. So I want to finish it up today. Yeah. I know it's pretty hot and it's ridiculous to wear this around your neck, but when the winter comes, you see how great it look with a little hat, actually if I even go a little bit longer, it would be nice, but I finished almost 1 spool of yarns. So this spool of yarn is about $12, so it's quite expensive for a simple spool of yarns. So when it's done, I will add some frill here, and then it'll then go down to about midsections, okay? And then you still be able to wrap around your neck when the winter comes. All right, you like my hat? Complimentary from Stone Paxton's. And let me introduce this beautiful studio here. This is a music studio. This is where Stone Paxton, the musician, artist, recorders, make his living here. Okay, he's professional artist. This is where he record and write his music and produce music. And this is where I also editing my cooking show. When I do pre-recording cooking show, this is where I come to do my editing for my cooking show. But since I've been doing on live and I don't have to come in here and editing it, so he has this this high functional equipment, and this is whole studio. This is a recording studio. So he's packed with all his musical instruments. He has packed, jam packed. Okay, so if I turn the camera around, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the recording room A, and the recording room B is also magical. He's packed. He can produce the most awesome music. I mean, name it. I mean, his system is just like you're gonna blow your earwax off your ears. Let's put it that way. So then back there, I'm featuring my cooking show in the back here. As you know, that many of you know that I'm also a chef by design. So I do cooking show for my YouTube contents and in other sector also. And besides cooking, my compassion is to I do crochet. Not only do I crochet, I knit, I sew, I do watering color, what do you call it? Watercolor also. So I wanted to bring all this beautiful thing to you because I want to share the talents that I have and that I like, that my compassion is to share with the world and what we're good at. Okay, so today, what I have today is this beautiful scarf here that I've been working on it, and um, if I have the whole day, I would finish this in one day. Okay, and that because I have millions of other things going on each day, so I only find the time where I can sit down and concentrating on this. And if you see me not talking, just because I'm concentrating on counting the exact count on every stitches and every patterns here, it requires exact count. Okay, if I'll be talking too much, I'm missing the counts. And this kind of yarn has a little hair. Is that see that linen, and it hang out like this. And if I crochet it, it'll get trapped in the process doing. When I've tried to undo it, I won't be able to do so because it gets it get tangled in. So so if you don't hear me talking, it's just because I'm concentrating counting. Every petal had its own counting. If I miss the count, then I have to undo. If I have to undo it, it'll be ugly because then sometimes I have to like out of patience and pull it off, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so I like to welcome you to my channel because I'm I'm gonna begin now. We're gonna work toward progressing this because I wanted to finish this soon. Okay, and yes, welcome all of you. I'm Shabana. I'm gonna finish my scarf today. TikTok สวัสดีค่ะ YouTube สวัสดีค่ะยินดีต้อนรับសូមស្វាគមន៍ខ្ញុំវណ្ណអេនថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំនឹងចាក់កសែងបងកวันนี้จะถักผ้าพันคอนะคะเชิญเข้ามาเลยค่ะเข้าใจขอเชิญชมค่ะยินดีต้อนรับนะคะ welcome to all of you. I'm going to start now so that way we can get this done. I know that I wanted to finish this half floral here because I have half on it. I mean, I have full flower on this side. Therefore, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you how. Let me go a few more rounds so that I can extend the length of my scarf. Okay. This is a beautiful design. It's a beautiful pattern. It's called lattice flowers or whatever kind of flower it is. But look at that. It is beautiful. This scarf here is fit for beautiful women. Okay, or any woman who feel to have this beautiful scarf on. Okay, and this scarf here is just amazing, and it's going to work well during winter. Right now, we're not talking about warming up because it's over 100 degrees here in Las Vegas. To think about the scarf is just like roasting the the cake on the bun. I mean, roasting the cake on the open fire. You know, it's getting so hot. And well, actually, today it was a lot hotter than yesterday, and yeah, so there's nothing to be playing around about the weather in Las Vegas. So for those who trying to figure out how I do these crochetings, let me go into detail how we do this. Okay, first of all, I started from very bottom here. So I started with 4 petals. So flowers, 4 flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I start from the bottom here. This is the bottom where I start. You see that this is the end yarns here. Okay, and then I work my way up, 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 and it got long. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 more row, perhaps 2 more rows, so you can get an idea what I'm doing here. Okay, so each of this here had its own count, and I can't be missing it, otherwise it will be uneven. Okay, so let's to start another flower, so I have to make 11 chains. I have 11 chains, and I'll count backward to the 5th chains, and then I will poke my needle right into the 5th chains, and then I have to wind up this yarn here, hook on and pull through, and I need 3 chains and start my first petals. 1, I need 2 of double crochet, and I need 3 single crochet and 3 single crochet to start a new. Oops, let me see, my bad, hold on. Oh, and then I'll just let it loose. This has 7 chain here. I will go right in the middle, so there will be 3 chain on each. So I'm in the middle, which is the third chains, and I'll reconnect with my floral here, my petals, and just pull through. I need 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and then just like in the middle here where we start the first floral here, first petals, pull through. I need another 3 single chain, and then there we go, my second petals. So we need 2 of the double crochet. Okay, double crochet is 1, 2, you hook, pull, 1, you pull through. So now I have second petals, okay, which is this right here. And then I will need 3 chain to connect the cable to my next florals. Okay, so I will need 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and then I needed to connect to the second florals here. There's a chain there next to the florals. I just reconnect, pull through, and at this point I need the 11 chains so I can start a new petal. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I count 5 downward with the 5th chain. I will have my hook through, connect with this chain here, pull it through. I will need 3 chains to start my petal. 2, 3. This is where we start our petals. I need 2 double crochet, and I let go so that I can start searching for the cable that I'm gonna start. I'm gonna connect to. Okay, so I'm connecting it. Go back to where I left it off, and I do 3 chains, and then I'm starting my new petals. So what I do, I create half of the petals. So when I'm reach to the end here, when I come back is when we create 2 more florals petals, and that will complete the full florals design here. All right. So I would need 3 chain to connect to the next cable where I'm going to create another flowers design. Thank you. My producer, to make sure that my video is running smoothly. Thank you. Connect the cable. Now, so to create another half florals, and I need 11 chains. I will come back another time where I will do a slower versions of tutorials, so that way you will get it. To this, I was just doing this for fun because I haven't done crocheting for a long time, and I've forgotten how to even do this. Yeah, I mean, I have to go back and reconnect with the patterns, so that way I can come back and do this. So I have been crocheting a lot in my lifetime, but sometimes I relying on my memory to do that. So I always make sure that I write it down, so I record it. And sometimes I didn't record it and I forgot, and then I have to look through the old patterns that I did. Unfortunately, some of those patterns that I created, it was given to friends and family, so I don't have. So now, I don't have the patterns, and then I have to try to reconnect my memories and go back to the old notes and stuff like this one right here. It take me a while to like to go back and where do I begin. So it took me a little bit, and then after a few try, so I finally reconnect with the patterns again. So now that I understand the whole concept, I will go ahead, and when I'm done with this, we can go slow to coordinate all this, so that way you can have the full tutorials in a we call it in a slower instruction. That way you can follow along, right? Because I'm an amateur crochet person, experienced crochet, so I go pretty quick, and that's how I was able to finish this in one day or in 8 hour time, what have you. You know, I mean, this design here are not basic design. These are called complicated, intricate design. So it takes a whole lot of skilled person to be able to produce, and even trying to follow someone instruction and finish, be able to like gracefully produce this kind of patterns, or even follow this kind of pattern. It's very intricate, and it's gorgeous. And every time when I have this thing done, people appreciate it, and I make a lot of sale. This too quite expensive, you know. I mean, because it take I I utilize expensive yarns, because I'm taking pride in find the best type of yarns, so that way when you put it on, you can feel the softness, and you're proud of owning one. You know, I mean, this is made in America. This is not made in Hong Kong or China. Okay, this is made by Chef Bonner. Okay, it's got to have a price tag to it, because I make so many of these over the course of my lifetime. I probably make about 50 to 100. Sometimes I make a whole bunch of this. I just sell it to people who order it and let me know you're interested. But what I'm trying to do for my audience is that, because a lot of people who've been following me on YouTube and TikTok, and I wanted to be able to do a lottery, just pick up one name that I feel that's is stand out for me, been supporting me on my cooking shows and supporting me on my channels, and that I wanted to do a lottery and pick one name, and then or two, maybe a few, you know, let me finish some of this first, so that way I can send this as a token of my appreciation and gift. So make sure that you invite your friends and family, be on here, so that, you know, be regular on here, be subscriber to my channels, and be here, and make sure that you communicate with me, know that you on here regularly, to show me that you're genuinely supporting my program, so that way you're entitled to receive such special gift from me. Okay, so remember now, these are special gifts, and it's not just I know you have money and go buy this from the malls, you know, but then the mall don't create this kind of stuff. They have to pay me handsomely to produce this kind of stuff, so they can sell at the mall. So yeah, I take order. You know, let me know whether it's for male, female. I can produce beautiful patterns for the male person, and then we can also, and I can also do color preferences. And sometimes I emboss personalize the name also. A lot of my stuff I have personalized. I put chef on it, or I put Vanna Inn on it, or you want your name to be on it. I can do that also, but that's gonna add a little bit more, because to add your initial, you add your your personalized, then it take a little bit more time to do that also. Okay, so everything adds up in term of my my time. Okay, and this is that done by expert, so it's not like it's not like a regular crochet. Okay, people say, "Well, I crochet, I crochet, I crochet." I do too, but can you do this? Oh no, I can't do that. That's too complicated. It is true, you know. People say they crochet. It doesn't mean that they be able to crochet something this magical, right? So, yeah. So I love Lattice flowers. I think it's just so beautiful. It's just so ladylike, and it's just a high class kind of ladylike when you have one of this on, and then yeah, it just like you can go to the town with it, you know, and look like you're wearing a fox furs on your neck. I I enjoy crochet, just like I was telling my friend earlier that when I was crocheting, um, I do this for a few reasons. Okay, not that I have to keep up in my skill, remember what I remember the pattern. To remember the pattern, I have to keep crocheting or videotape of my doing it, so that way I I still be able to keep up with the pattern that I love. Or and the other thing is to help me calm down, to help me relax and not have to worry about anything else, because when I crochet, I needed to focus on counting the um, exact count for the patterns. Otherwise, I'll be like, if my mind wanders somewhere else, and I come back and say, well, no, you know, the other day, when my mind wandered off, I started crocheting instead of instead of going vertically, I mean horizontally. Which way? Vertical, horizontal. Okay, horizontal, that way would go this way. Instead of go vertically, I went horizontal, and I went all the way to about down here, and I said, that don't look right. And when I tried to pull the yarn back, and then the yarn's already trapped in this little linen. So it didn't work for me. So then I have to cut it off, and then that like pissing me off. It wasn't relaxing at all. It was like I'm like I'm losing my hair over this. Okay, so I started now become a little agitated at my own project. So that's why when I do this, I don't talk as much. If I do talk, then you know I miss the count, and when I miss the count, it depends on the yarn too. Some yarns, let me show you varieties of yarns, okay? But this type of yarn is where it had a little hair, you know, sticking out everywhere here. This is the kind of yarn that once you make mistake, it's hard to retrieve it, because all this will get trapped in the process of crocheting, and it just like knit in like so tight that when you cannot even pull it out. But so the whole scarf here, this is one of the expensive yarns, okay? So this is called a spool. Okay, this one right here is it. So the instruction will show you the yarn number and the hook you need for your project. So this one right here is pretty expensive brand. So I don't stuck with low brand. I don't like to use low or cheap yarn for or cheaper brand yarn uh, for my project. When I make for something, I always make sure that the yarns are high quality, and that sometimes they're hand tie dye, and those are the most expensive kind of yarn. You know, the hand tie, the hand tie, the hand dye, where the process of human spinning the yarns and then the whole process of collecting the wools and I mean, the whole process, just like I'm doing here, you think that I'm doing all the work. No, all the work is done by the farmers, by the wool uh, farm farmers, you know, and then people who does the collecting wool and do the process and then put into a spool like this. We don't know that what kind of work that those people have to do to produce one spool of yarn. where they have to collect hair from human or even dog and cat, but then usually it's done by the beautiful, beautiful animals such as the lamb, or is it lamb? Well, so this is a spool. We call it a spool of yarn. Okay, this spool right here, I was able to create this. Okay, create this beautiful yarns here. I mean, beautiful scarf here. So it depends on how big and how wide your project is. If it's big, then you won't get this long. If it's small, this, and then I tried it before. I have a little bit left over. I might be able to finish the whole thing, add the frills. I may not, because I have to retract and add um, the full petals on this side to make it look like that. Okay, so and then so they also the cotton is varieties of color. Look at the color. Look at the vibrant colors. They're so pretty. Okay, look at that. This is a real cotton. This is expensive one, because small like this, I'm talking about, they sell for $4 or $5. I understand why it's so expensive. Then they have to grow the cotton, then they have to hire worker to collect the cotton. The cotton factory go through the whole process of put into yarn, and then labels and so this right here easy to crochet because it's pretty it's clean. It had no hair sticking out like was this right here. Look at it, how hairy this is. Okay, so and that's why one move of wrong count, and then I have to undo, and then all this hair is trapped in between. It won't be the undo. This right here, I can pull it off, and then like it's gonna come off so easy. And that's what I love about cotton yarn. And polyester the same way. And so this one right here is polyester. And look at that, I had this for so long, and it came in this different spool. I love this color right here. This almost like a Tiffany greens. I love it. I make so many scarves. In fact, I still have one scarf. No, I may not have. I gave them away. And then this company here, okay, it's small. They create this beautiful color here, like a off baby color, like really, really beautiful green. This is the only company that make this beautiful, vibrant color out of cotton. Okay, out of cotton. Look at that. Look at the color. Okay, so these all different brand, different type of yarns, and this one is from wool, and they're expensive. And then the hand tie and the hand dyed one is the most expensive. So I use this a lot of time. I use this for baby blanket because they're cotton, and sometimes the baby will allergic to certain product that the dye or what have you. So I'm trying to stay with the organic as much as possible. So this is the whole spool that I'm creating my scarf with. Okay, and then I was going to show you that beside doing that, I create the headbands, and the headbands is the most easy project for me. The only thing that was not ordinary was to create all these beautiful flowers here. Okay, TikTok, I know you're way over there, but this is Cambodian national flower called Pka Rumdul. Rumdul also is the name of the girls. I mean, the whole nation in Cambodia named the daughter Rumdul because they want to replica the name of this beautiful flower here. This is the Cambodian national flowers. Okay, this is the exact color. Okay, so I have it on the uh, this earth tone color here. Okay, brownish, and then I have two tone of leaves, and it's pretty. So I wear this on my cooking show, and I mean I endorse my own handiwork because I love it, and then I spend a few days, okay, designing this pattern here. I got it. I didn't write it down, so that's why I bring with me. If I get chance to finish with my scarf early, I would show you how to crochet this Pkarum dual. Okay, the rumdul flowers. I don't know what the English terminology yet, or even um the plant name, because I have to go Google for it because it is Cambodian flower, national flower. I didn't see that in Thailand that I visit. They may have them. I mean, they share crops and they share just about anything, and then they fight and they share things. They fight. They're like their relationship is always ups and downs, just like a marriage couple. Right now, they're fighting not fist fight. They were like exchange heavy artillery. They like bombing each other. So they order evacuations and all that, and they threaten to like they have to. Thai said, well, they want back their land, they want back their monastery, uh, monuments. But Khmer said, oh no, that's ours. Check with the Geneva Convention. Check with the French border. Um, the mapping. Okay. But Thai said, no, we want it back. Khmer said, oh, that belonged to our ancestors. Build it. So right now they just bomb each other. So I'm a Thai descent, born in Cambodia. So you know how I feel about that, right? I'm like, really? Do I have to be in the middle like I did before? When I was in the camp, they called me Khmer, meaning that the Cambodian or the Khmer, Khmer. And then when I was in Cambodia, they called me Siam, mean Thai. So I never really got accepted in neither country. When I was in Cambodia, they called me Siam. Siam is the word that Khmer people call Thai people. Thai is reference to a noun, um, pronouns refer to the word freedom or free. Okay, free, Thai, be Thai, be free. And then Siam is the previous name before Thai renamed the country called Siam or Siam. Not Siam. Siam is a beautiful name. Siam. Okay, but then Khmer are called Siam, and Siam mean the whole that you just dig the ground with. So they insult each other so bad. So for me, for being Thai descent, born in Cambodia, I'm just trapped between these two cultures. It just so much contention going on. I mean, the war from beginning of time where the war since the King Varaman, I mean, talking about what, early 1700 or late 1700. I never take interest in Khmer Thai history. I should, but I didn't. Maybe I should, so I can share with you why they claim it's there or what have you. So my things about in both countries that they need to get along. They need to build relationship before someone else come in and took the land. So being Thai born in Cambodia, I'm trapped between the two cultures. So that's why I'm here in America, because neither country except me. I searched refuge and crossed the border to Thailand during the communists taken over, and Thai people said, "Oh no, you come in." They said, "Oh, you Khmer, you come in." The word Khmer, the Cambodian, we call ourselves Khmer, but the Westerner call us Cambodian, and the French call us Cambode. So when I was in Cambodia, they call me Siam. When I was in Thailand, they call me Khmer. So then in other words, that have the room for me to grow in any of the country. When I was in refugee camp for 5 years, and that's it. I learned everything, the language, the culture. They taught me how to crochet, to cook. I did that in the camp because I was confined in the camp, refugee camp, for almost 6 years. Almost 6 years. So in that 6 year frame, we'll like stand in line with a bowl and get food, and there's some medical care and that's all you get. You have the shabby shelter on the stove, and because so crowded, and sometimes people will sleep on the ground. And 6 years in the camp, imagine, there's no freedom doing anything. You're not allowed to have job, you're not allowed to do nothing. But then they did bring they built education center where they bring scholars and teachers to come in and educating us, teach us Thai instead of English. They wanted to educate us. So they taught the homemaking, the art and craft, to make flower of the crepe papers, and crochet and knitting and other craftsmanship. And so cooking also. That's why I'm good at Thai cooking, because I've been I all those time. I wish that I paid closer attention to what I was taught, but then I remember some of the skills that I was taught and transferred to me. That's why I was able to have my own cooking, and I wanted to relive in my experience living in the camp, all the experience, the knowledge that I got transferred to while I was living in the camp. So then this crocheting also was like one of the things that the big thing in camp in in Thailand. They are so good with their art and craft. Also, the food carving, the food sculptures, and the meal that was created in a beautiful setting. I got that too. So I'm trying to living the experience. Okay, so that's why sometimes you see my food are so beautifully designed with different fruit carving, stuff like that. That's some of the reflections that I had while living in the camp. But anyway, so I'm trying to finish this blankie. If I keep talking too much, I won't be able to finish it. Let me try to finish it. Maybe I'll just keep myself calm for an hour or so, so that way we can finish this. All right. But it's great to have all of you. Years ago, I used to make all kind of headbands and beanies with the Hollywood or even animation design, name it, from mohawk to the two horns and a kind of Disney character. It was fun, design all those patterns. And again, I'm saying that, I mean, crocheting is what keep me occupied with my thought, because you can't wander your thought when you crochet, because then you're going to miscount or make a mistake. That's why focusing on the counting, all this pattern here allow me to relax. In fact, I was sharing with my friend the other day that crocheting is considered a form of occupational therapy. I don't know why it was classified as occupational therapy, but it must be so, what I mean? Because it's so relaxing. I mean, occupational, what else? I mean, it have to do with job, maybe job related anxieties when you come home and you be able to sit down and just concentrating on your crocheting, not worry about anything else, right? So, and then, and then, and I was saying also the other week that I that that I was able to take this on the flight with me, and I'll be crocheting on the plane, because it helped me feel relaxing when I'm flying. Sometimes a lot of waiting time or delay times, and sometimes the plane could delay to like up to 8 hours, and after reading for a while, I'm running out patient to read books and stuff like that. It's no longer interested. So so I bring crochet. My carry on had nothing but yarns, because it helped me relax. It helped me focusing on my trip rather than what, because when I fly, people have this flight flight phobia, or afraid of flying, and so so when I crochet, and I'm flying overseas, or flying uh, across America, because my kid live east coast east coast states, near the end of the earth there. So sometimes if the straight flight is about 6 hours, if it's connect flight, sometimes they delay you. Sometimes it's a 45-minute delay, and then the second delay will be 2 hours, and the third delay will be 8 hours, and then you have layover for a whole day, right? So to combat the waiting time and make the time go so quick, go so meaningful. So by the time that layover is done, I'm already done with one project. See that? Okay, I can read and then I can finish a book. But then if I bring something to crochet, then I have something that I can bring home with, like a product, a finishing product, right? So, and that's what I love about it. It's so great that it it allowed me to do that. Okay, and then so here we go. Yeah, so TSA never had issue with me bringing crochet needles and stuff like that, but I can't bring the scissor, though I have to bring nail clippers. Just when I'm done, I just clip it off. But then yeah, TSA been kind. I appreciate them for doing that, because otherwise I would have such a hard time flying, you know. So now that I'm connecting, finishing the end here, so I'm gonna go ahead and um and connect the third and the fourth petals to make it full petals like we do here. Okay, full flowers here, right? As you see there, I have half of it, because um, the way design will not be able to do the full petal. It's just the nature of this type of patterns. Okay, but there's no reason to be agitating, because we can come and just fill it all in, all the way to the last flowers. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, so I already finishing up this last floral here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, because we have count up 9 here. Okay, so I'm gonna count about 5 here, just to create the cable, so I can connect maybe a 4, you know, so I could connect it to this flower here. So let me do it 4 work. Okay, 4 work, and then I just gonna connect it right here. So there you go. I have extra chain here, and I will need a chain of 3 to create my third petals, and then the 4th petals, and then I'll do the chain and connect to the next flower here. Chain of 3, and then 2 double crochet, chain 3, a pull loop, chain 3, and then my last petals to fill up the 4 petals. So there you go. So now that's a half flowers. So now I'm just doing exactly to match on this side right here. On both sides, now we'll have full flowers. And then I have a lot more to do that. So I'm going to go to the next flowers. Chain 3, chain 3 again, 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet, oh, chain 3. Each time when I start a new petal, I have to do chain 3 on the beginning, chain 3 on the end. So now I'm done with, oh, my bad. Okay, I have to settle my petal here, and I need 4 chain connected with the new petals. slip knot, chain 3. This is called slip knot here. Single stitch. Double stitch is you have to wind up the yarn, pull the loops twice, 1, 2, and then 3 single chains, 1, another 3 single chain, double crochet, and I have to lay my petals along this chain here, the third chain, to make up the third chains, and I need 4 chain to reconnect the next flowers here. Slip knot. So now you see that I have full pattern of flowers on both sides. Okay. Yeah. But I have a lot of single and half flowers that I need to get done. I mean, we have this much to go. So let's do this together. How are we doing over there? You all doing good? It's great to have all of you. My daughters want me to make the bikini for them. I already had 1 or 2 bikini done over the course of years, just that I have not even given to my kid yet. And it'll be nice to see them wear my very own handmade bikini. I think that's what I'll do next week, is to show you how to do bikini patterns. And that depends though, because each woman had different cup size. I can't do one size fit all, because then if you have the double A and triple D, that's not gonna work, right? I'm sorry. Some of us are less fortunate of the cup size than others, but that's why I think flat chest has become like a new fashion fad now. You know, you don't have to have this to be attractive. So for those who is flat, don't worry about it. You're gonna be attractive. Anyway, I saw the supermodel that was so flat that I thought she was a boy. You know, I mean, they don't care. They think that flat chest women are the new attractive now. So I'm cool with that. I mean, my most of my kids are double D's, and some of them natural, some of them are man-made, but whatever it's worth, you know, the handmade of God. Because sometimes you wish that God will create. See that? You see what I'm talking about? It's just really irritating. But anyway, but sometimes God don't not always bless you with everything. You know, you get one and you lose the other. Just like a woman with great height, she be flat chest. A woman with not great height, and she would give with, you know, a little bosom. So I always notice that, you know, God doesn't give all women a perfect 10, just like Bo in the Perfect 10 movie. Yeah. Did you go back to when, back in 1980, where Bo Derek, she played in the Perfect 10. I don't know where the Perfect 10 come from. Maybe having blue eyes and being corn braided. It was like Perfect 10. I don't remember how the movie goes, you know. I mean, Perfect 10 was like Bo Derek with her beautiful swimming suit in Chile on a sandy beach. That was some of the first movie that I remember watching when I first came to America. I think I didn't understand the language and didn't understand what the story is all about, but I should go back and revisit. But anyway, so that was the kind of perfect tin audio kind of woman, you know. Um, yeah, and what I learned too about about my family in Cambodia. Uh, uh, let me talk about about the beauty standard. Why is that women who born with fair skin are not happy with their fair skin? They want a little tarnished look. And the women who were blessed with beautiful tan, tarnished look want to have fair skin. I kid you not. Okay, I wasn't born with the era where women wanted to be blondie, were born brunette and want to be blondie. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever is good for you is good for you, right? But what I don't understand about Cambodia, Cambodian women in Cambodia in general, is that they struggle with their identity. I have cousins who are farmers. Okay, they're not city developers. Some of this stuff, you know, I mean, okay, before it was a thing with a class crash between the high societies and the peasant born. So my family are not high society by any definition. They're farmers. I'm a farmer. I'm a proud farmer. My dad was a farmer. I'm not gonna say anything bad about being a farmer. So then I saw my cousin, you know, blonde their hair up and they light the skin, you know, they don't want when they're in the sun, they would cover themselves from head to toes. They wear socks amid 80, 45 or 60 Celsius. You know, I mean, Celsius is equivalent to about half, uh, twice, twice as hot as Fahrenheit, because and you'll be seeing Asian women cover themselves. You know, I do too. I wear long sleeve in the sun, but um, but I'm okay expose myself to the sun. I love sunlight, especially in the morning. But my cousin in Cambodia, I pick on my cousin because I just see the real truth. So so my cousin, you know, I mean, they love that fair skin, like a porcelain. Gotta be the porcelain look. Gotta be like extremely white pale, like porcelain. Well, porcelain doll, you know, and it's a little pale. So exactly the ideal kind of woman in Cambodia to like achieve that. The beauty standard is to have this pale skin, right? And they bleach the hair and the pale the skin, and yeah, they have to cover because pale skin does not doing very well under humidity. You know, it's sweat, and it's not going to keep your porcelain skin very well. But what I learned about my cousin is that everybody strive to cover the skin to make sure that the skin are pure white as porcelain doll. You know, I'm looking like, what's wrong with you people? What happened to all the real Khmer people? Why you not proud of your skin color? You know, I mean, I come to live in America, my skin got lighter. I'm almost, but I'm still brown. You know, I mean, I'm brown. I'm tan. I'm beautiful tan, and I'm proud of it. When I went to Cambodia, I don't strip myself to sleeveless shirt, blouse, and things like that. I wear long sleeve most of the time because I protect my skin also. You know, I don't want my skin to be over tan. So what I learned about my cousin is that they have those white skins and they use the skin whitenings and and once they use the product that contain um, too much of the skin peelers or too much of the chemicals that are not allow them to be able to eat hot food without them turning brown or tarnished, or they can't be under the sun because it has too much of the chemicals. There's a name of the chemicals that it will come back to me, that really is not agree with women, who does the farming and be under the hot element. A lot of city developers, they live in a shelter with air conditioning, so they preserve their skin by stay inside the building. And so I was asked questioning, and they're like, that we want to look like American. It's like, oh, babe, look like American. I'm from America. I don't even want to look like American. Nothing wrong with look like American, but I'm not. I'm not born to as American woman. I was born in Asia with beautiful complexion. You know what I mean? And then and the contrary, where American women and men who had light complexion want to have your skin, and you want to have American skin. You guys need to switch place. So yeah. So then yeah, gorgeous. And then the funny story to that, where my cousin, they work on farms, so they're trying to keep their wife at home so that she won't be exposed to hot element, because it's going to ruin her porcelain skin, because she just had it peel, the chemical peel, or use those cream to peel the skin, to lighten the skin. And so one day, the cousin that I have not met, he met his wife, and she looked gorgeous. Her skin is like spotless. She powdered her face so white, so perfect. I mean, she draw her lashes, her lines, everything in a perfect form, like a beautiful, spotless skin, almost like a porcelain doll. So one day, he called me on the YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook Messenger, on camera. So I heard she was talking on the back, I said, well, and we were just talking, my first cousin. So just talking here and there and there. I said, well, where's your wife? Put your wife on the phone. And she refused to be on the phone. I said, well, put your wife on the phone. I want to talk to her. I saw her on the Facebook, and she looked like beautiful blonde perfections of her porcelain skin. Let me talk to her. She refused to come to the camera. But then her husband mistakenly turned the camera over to her, and she's trying to avoid being on camera because she didn't have those powder face on. She didn't look what she looked on Facebook, with the editing, with those makeup, and then she not natural. I mean, oh dang, like, oh dang. So I'm sorry. Yeah, nothing against my cousin. I'm just saying that sometimes my woman be doing too much. I may have offended a few people here, which I don't care. But I'm just speaking the truth, that we need to embrace our own identity. We need to embrace our skin color. We need to embrace our hair color. Well, I'm guilty of that because I got older and I begin to gray, so I cover my gray, but I didn't turn blondie though. I mean, I never turned blondie. One time, years ago, I went to the beauty shop and I want to get my hair highlight. So it was quite expensive to get hair highlight. And after work, I make an appointment with these Vietnamese beauticians at the beauty shop, and I had a beautiful green dress on. It was quite expensive because I got it from I shop at petite and sophisticated shop where I'm small, so I have to go to like a special kind of shop to get the kind of dress that fit me, because at the time I was wearing size 0 or something like that. It was crazy when I was only 108 pounds, So yeah, I went and get my hair done. It was a streak of highlight here and there, and I went home and looked at myself in the mirror. So I don't like this. So then I have to drive myself quickly to the drugstore and get the dark hair dye and cover the highlight streak. And then I noticed also that my dress, when I took off my dress, I noticed that my beautiful green dress was bleached up. It had bleach on it. So I went back to the shop, and the lady didn't honor, and she's like trying to argue with me, and said it's not their fault that they the bleach on my dress. Maybe I bleached my own dress. I said, how do I want to bleach my own dress? I spent hundreds for this. How am I going to bleach my own dress? And when I walk into your shop, my dress wasn't even bleached up. And because you guys, whatever you guys do, you got bleach and on my dress, and they. So I didn't want to argue with them. So I tell them I never come back here. I will never volunteer or refer your guy to anybody in town, because you guys are not very honorable business people. How are you going to tell me that I bleach up my dress? It don't make sense. So that was the experience of me trying to add a little highlight to my hair, and yeah. And then when I went to Cambodia, I see the same thing. People in Thailand, women are embracing the being blondine, being aubans and all that. I mean, Aubrey, whatever the color that they enjoy doing. I see all my cousins love doing that. And for me, someone from America, and I look ordinary. I look simple. And what I think I already talked about this. I don't remember if some of you have been here when I was talking about the incident where I was wearing sarong out in the community. I love sarong, and sarong is a piece of cloth that it's not a dress, it's not a pant, it's just a hollow piece of cloth that hemmed together on one end, and then you wear around your midsection here when you have to tie it well, so that way it doesn't drop off your midsection, right? Well, you're well built. So I have my beautiful handcrafted, one of those beautiful antique real silver belt that I purchased from this elderly woman that she needed some money, so she never come back to pay restitution. So I kept the belt. It's beautiful, 100% silver. So it had the 12 animal characters, very, very beautiful design. I love it. So I took it with me. So I messed around when I was in Cambodia, Thailand, because it's so hot, and wearing denim, because I don't like wearing short, because the mosquitoes and the thing that's going on in the region, I can't wear short, and I'll get myself cut, and then the dogs and the mosquitoes. So I always wearing something heavy to protect myself from all that. So I'm always hot. So when I'm inside the house, I switch it to wearing sarong, because sarong, it's light, it's cotton, and it's breathable, like denim. So I was wearing my sarong. One day, my brother fiance came from the city. Ooh, I have 5 petals on that one. Hold on, let me go back and undo it. She's from the city, from Phnom Penh. So she's traveled like 6-7 hours she's here to pick up my mom for visit. I didn't go visit. I don't want to visit with her, because I don't want to be family with her, because I was upset with my brother for leaving my sister-in-law for a younger woman, so he arranged for me to go meet them by having them come to visit us, driving to visit us in their brand new car that he bought for them and all that. So he was very generous with his new bride. He bought her the condominium and shop and cars and a lot of jewelry. She was wearing jewelry everywhere, like she's a rich girl, and she's only 20 at the time. And so she came, and I told my mom I'm not going. So they were so particular who's going with them, and she was a little snotty, and her attitude was overwhelmed, and she didn't speak to me. I didn't speak to her neither, because with her position, she will be my sister-in-law in the future, but because of arrogant attitude, and I didn't want anything to do with her. I told my mom already that I'm not gonna go to visit with them, so you have to take your family with you. And but she was there, and my mom didn't want to say no, and she didn't want to go with them. So my mom came up with this like very cleverly manipulative way, and she started to scream loud and in front of the two ladies, my brother's fiance, and her mom and the dad. They were there, three of us. She was screaming, and her stomach was hurting so bad, and she can't go anywhere. So my brother was on the phone with his fiance and giving instruction that, well, since mom's not feeling well, have to take her to the emergency. So as I was still eating my breakfast in the kitchen and hear what's going on, and I had my sarong on, and I just got my shower. I'm gonna have a nice day, so I have my sarong on and everything, and then all of a sudden my mom was sick and with coming down with stomach cramp that was just going that she screamed hard, and I thought that she was dying for real. So I tell my brother, no worry, I'm a care provider for mom. I'm gonna take mom to the clinic. So I asked my cousin, I said, hey, where's the closest clinic here? He said, I was in the Battambang city. It was about maybe 2 hour drive. So okay, let's go. So and then my second cousin looked at me like, you're not going like that. Going like what? Can you go change your sarong? Change your sarong, because you can't go dressing with sarong. So what's wrong with wearing sarong? Sarong is Khmer clothes. No, you cannot wear sarong out to public. I was like, really? And what's gonna happen if I don't change it? Then you shouldn't leave the house. And no, I am. Let's go. Let's get in the car. So we drove, my mom, and we were heading to the clinic in Battambang. Is one of those clinic that was, it's okay, beautiful building, it's clean and expected. So I walk in with my sarong. I have a wrap with Cambodian, um, with that Angkor Wat wrap, imprinted wrap. So I wear sarong with the with the Angkor Wat wraps. I really look like I'm a farmer daughters. I mean, I remember that because sarong symbolically represent poor people clothes. Okay, it's a farmer clothes, and farmers are treated like second class citizen. There's no respect for farmer. I'm sorry, farmer. I love farmers because my dad's a farmer, and we weren't poor, and we didn't wear sarong because we couldn't afford it. But sarong was really Khmer outfit. It was like the original Khmer outfit. Okay, because people now start wearing clothes that are imported from Vietnam or China. So they don't know that, that they just said that, well, it's harder to keep the sarong on, or when when you wear the pant don't just come off. And I agree with that, but then, so, yeah, with that experience, I, I was just upset because how did it sarong not being accepted in the societies? So then I didn't care. So then I wear sarong every day. When I went to the market to buy food, I hop on the scooter with my cousin, and I get on my head, my scarf, and then I wear sarong. So I'll be walking in a fish market, I'm free. I don't care who's staring at me. And then after my cousin condemned me for wearing sarong, and it was shameful to be seen in public wearing sarong. I'm not naked. Sarong is way dressed down to my heel, not like it's like a Bambi here. No, it's like a long piece of cloth that cover the whole. I mean, from waist down to your heel. Not like I'm wearing anything um, revealing. It's not. So then, so I was surprised that the Cambodian indigenous clothes is viewed as something inferior, where it's shameful to wear it. So I said, I'm not shameful. So one day I went back to the market, and the lady at the money exchange, she was laughing, she was smiling. So she finally figured out that I'm from America, because he said that oh yeah, he said, hey sister. I turned over because I was on the scooters and slowly going through the vegetable aisle. I stepped out of the scooters and um, walk in the market aisles. And she said, hey sister. I turned around and said, I saw you on the sarong, was so nice, you look so nice on sarong. And so that was first compliment from a lady who from the money exchange booth, over there. When you exchange your your money to your dollar, US dollar, any kind of um any kind of monetary, you don't have to go to the bank. You just go to the stall, the money exchange stall, and she has stack of money like in Okay, so you think that Cambodia is dangerous? To me, I said, if lady have million dollars, I mean million real, which is very little. Consider, she stack it up on the breakable see-through glass. Right out in the open. It's not even like she didn't even not in the concealment. It's not in behind the bar and thing like that. No, she was like out right there. Like almost on the street. Some of them on the street. And then what I'll do is that I'll go to exchange for my dollars, because um, uh, the dollar is honored in the market, but sometimes they can get tricky. If they see that we have dollars, they want to raise the price. So what I do is that I would go to the money exchange stall, and then I got to know that lady. So she gave me a wholesome compliment. He said, yeah, you look good on the sarong. I said, well, thank you, sister. you know I know people stare me down, and people stare me at the hospital too. When I first walked in with my mom, um, the nurses was like dogging on me from head to toe. They giggled. So funny. And then while filling up my mom information, they want to have address. So I turned over to my cousin and said, "What address? I don't have address here." So I said, "Well, you can use our address in Cambodia." So they asked, "Why don't you have address?" So I they want to form a formal ID for my mom, so I have to give them my mom passport. And when they see the U.S. passport, man, the whole room changed. Just like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I'm like, F you. Minutes ago, you were staring at me like I'm like I'm dirt, because they see me wearing sarong to this uh, like a beautiful establishment, like a general hospital, and then no one ever in that region wears sarong to that kind of establishment. I'm probably the first person to go. When they giggle, they close their mouth, thinking that you can't tell that they giggle at you. But I didn't say nothing. When they see the U.S. passport, man, they're trying to make money out of me. And finally, uh, went inside to see the doctor, and right away he was questioning what happened to mom, blah blah blah, and then he said, "Well, I'm going to hospitalize your mom." You do what? I said, "No, sir, you don't have to hospitalize my mom. My mom's okay. She's not that sick. She's not that serious. I have a lot of medication that I brought from US, and I can just give her that." But no. But how do you know if she's not feeling well? What you gonna do? Again, I said, "I'm gonna bring her back. I'm not gonna have my mom stay overnight at the hospital. I'm gonna bring her home. Just give me whatever the prescription that she needs." So he gave her anti-diarrheas and all that, and then for that short visit, it cost me almost 300 US dollars. That's like the whole day income for the whole district, I think. So that was expensive. And then my mom told me, "Daughter, I wasn't sick. I was just acting because I don't want to live with your brother's fiance because the way she's being a brat." I said, "I know, because you will find the next what you will find in the morning. I don't know why you got sick all of a sudden." So and then yeah, I learned a lot about my brother's fiance, and she's too much. So my brother was like 40 years older than her, and she's like a baby, just step out of schoolroom, and she think that she has the best deal meeting my brother, and he got her every dreams come true, all the things that she need her for family. It was like it was just like a great deal. Is like an honorable thing for her to be married to a U.S. citizen, Cambodian born. Especially my brother, who was 40 years older than her. So they have an elaborate wedding last year, and it went viral. And I feel so bad for my sister-in-law, and a lot of things said, and I make some response to that. And finally, there was so many criticism. First, it was like all good, it was all well. Everybody support and make like thousand of praise, and because my brother, he worked for Facebook, so he know how to set up account where it blow up in millions of views in 2 minutes. So then the whole world found out, and then I was on the phone with my sister-in-law, and she said, "Yeah, sister, he divorced me already, so he's free to marry whoever he wants." She said in like the most painful way, that hurt my feelings so much. Uh, I actually cried with her because what happened in our family is that her son Jim, Officer Jimmy, was very close to me. But Jim always get in trouble with her dad, with his dad, and his dad never, never fair with him. He's always favor of his baby daughter, and it doesn't matter what the baby daughter does. He think is adorable. But Jim can't do right. Everything Jim do is disastrous. Everything Jim do has got to be wrong. So most of the time he get in trouble with his dad, and and I always have to be in between. Even married his his survivals videos. My brother called to to a meeting, and literally asked for uh, my advice whether to bless Jimmy with his marriage. I said, Jimmy is not asking for your permission. Jimmy is informing you that he is getting married. So he was so adamant. He said, no, because his fiance, well, they got engaged and everything. They didn't get the blessing from the dad, and so he went and do American way. He got the ring for his fiance, and his fiance is about 10 or 15, 13 years older than him. I think I can't remember exactly the age disparity. So so the family was calling, and everybody say didn't agree to it. But then I got to say, and he said, oh, "How do you feel, Vanna?" My brother addressed me because he and I we don't always get along, but when it comes to serious decision making, I'll make sure that he included me. Um, there's time where I want to like disown my brother, so he said, "What about you, Vanna? Everybody else not a good." No, I said, "No, Jimmy gonna get married. He's not here to ask for your permission. He's here to inform you that he's getting married. Whether you approve the marriage or not, they're gonna get married. So did you not get it? He's an adult, I mean, you cannot control his life. He want to get married, and he's gonna have a wedding. They love each other, and like they're compassionate about each other. But his wife already have 2 kids, and my brother said, no, he need to marry a virgin. What the what virgin? There's no virgin around here. Say for the baby just pop from the womb. Yes, you see a virgin there, but don't expect a 10-year-old to be a virgin. No, what you can do with the virginities? Say, well, that's the way the culture is supposed to be. Is that a girl who married my son will be a virgin? In fact, no. So we argue a little bit. We butt headed. My brother and I we butt headed because you call me here to allow me to be part of your decision making. So I'm just speaking the truth that late Officer Jimmy does not need your consent. He is informing you that he's married his fiance here. Okay, so whether you agree or not, well, I'm gonna disown him. It doesn't matter whether you disown him or you're gonna own him. You don't own him. You can cut yourself off from being the father for a little bit to chill down. So I call him the general. He I'm the 5-star general. He's a 3-star general, meaning that I have more power over the family and him because he cannot make decisions without having me involved. So he was upset, he said, well, then if you're going to get married, then he have to pay dowries. Oh, what the dowry? So my brother want Jimmy to do dowry, which is the money that the bridegroom will pay toward the parent of the girls. I said that you are the bridegroom father and you want his girlfriends to pay your dowry. Well, brother, come on now. Okay, so he said, all right, no dowry. Then he said, you sure you have money to get married? He was like raising his voice in authoritarian manner. I said, yes, we save money. We both make money. They're both in the law enforcement. They met while they were attending the police academy. So then they were, yeah, they got engaged. They were like they dated for a while and got engaged, and because his wife is a lot older than him, and my brother was adamant he want a virgin for his son, and so that discussion was like over, and that Jimmy gonna marry his wife, that he's gonna pay for his own weddings, that he's gonna have the Cambodian wedding, and that he's gonna pay for the whole wedding plan. The Cambodian wedding is gonna have the folklore music, song players, gonna have the Cambodian tradition dress come in, and then he's gonna pay for the food venues, and that he's gonna pay for his own hire the band for the party, the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing probably runs around $50,000-$60,000. So Jimmy said, yeah, we have money, we're gonna do all that. We're gonna have Cambodian wedding, and then my wife wanted a Catholic wedding, so they have the Cambodian wedding, and they go and have the Catholic wedding. So we have two kind of weddings, so it was fine. It was a big wedding, a beautiful wedding, and why my dad was still alive. So Jim was crying. He was so overwhelmed that my dad was able to, my family carried my dad to give him the blessing. So he was bawling. And he's a big guy. Jimmy, he was a tall guy. He was like 6-something, maybe 6'1" or 6'2". He's one of the tall family members. And then so after the wedding, a couple years later, Jimmy was shot and killed on duty. He was with the department for about 7 years, and he hasn't got his promotion yet. He has a son. He was only 7 months old when Jimmy was killed. So it was the first responder to domestic dispute, and in like a very bad area. I mean, it was a pretty bad area where the area that I'm in and out working in the communities, but I never got shot at because I come in as an advocate. So people see me as their supporters, so they don't harm me. They don't let the dog to chase after me. They open the door. They give me a bottle of water. They offer me food. They offer me shelter. If I'm in the community, so it's a different kind of loving in the community. But anyway, so Jim was in the area. He was patrolling in the area when the call come in. So he deployed to that duplex and knock, knock, knock. But someone called and saw this African American woman rush out the home, and she was crying. She was bleeding. So the neighbor called the cop, and then the guy, her presumably boyfriend, was inside the house with the baby. So she fled without the baby, and she went crying for help. And someone called the first responder. He was patrolling in the area, and that was his zone. So oftentimes Jimmy would come to the house and knock, knock, auntie, I need to go to the bathroom. And he know all the people in the community that love him. He visit with them. And so that day I didn't see him. And then, so he knock, knock, knock. And the screen door, metal screen door. And the guy, there was no word exchange. Can't remember what there was a word exchange. But then, so Jim knocked on the door and protocol, he moved a little bit over to the side, and, his hand was ready to charge, right? But then he has life bulletproof here, from here to here. But the vigilant was so skillful, he know that he don't want to be caught. I think he He was a desperados. He had a warrant or something like that from the state of Texas. So go back to this history. So he opened the door and he fired at my nephew's 4 times, hitting him. Just yeah. He opened the screen door and he was unalive. So many bullets going through his neck, his jaw, this area here. He ascended on the ground and he was still breathing. His body cam record every bit of the blood shattered. And, and then the backup law enforcement came and the idiot came with the baby as a human shield. You know, he didn't want to be caught. He didn't want to go back to jail. So he hold the baby tight and he want to get out. And so the neighbor came out and helped subdue him, and the cop shot and killed him, and he died at the scene also. So they and my nephew was transported to emergency room, but he didn't make it. The injury was too much, and it hit his like a killing spot, you know. Yeah. So yeah, he died at the age of 30, leaving his 6 months old son, a wife, and 2 step kids. They had beautiful possessions and beautiful funeral for him, you know, huge funerals. I mean, people and police and law enforcement flew from everywhere in the nation, and I was so packed. You know, even it's only private for the law enforcement. It was so packed. It was, I mean, the procession from the funeral home to the gravesite was just like take 3 hours to get through, and you have people coming, standing with the flag raised up. You know, I mean, a kind of law enforcement, and it was very impressive. You know, I mean, I was thrilled, but then and then Officer Jimmy Inn was honored as a tomb guards and his name engraven on a freeway sign post, and President Joe Biden even awarded him with White House awards, and a lot of fundraising, a lot of community support, and it was hard to forget that event, you know. And I took a whole week off just to mourn and to help my brother arrange for the funerals and stuff like that. And up until now, it's been that happened in 2021, I think. It's been 3-4 years. But the memory of losing Jimmy was like, it's just like death itself, you know. I mean, losing someone that so close, so loving, because Jimmy and I, we love each other. I'm, I'm not his mom, but every time Jimmy get in trouble in school and he's not doing well in school, he's not turning in his assignment, my brother used to scorn at him, and he's always calling me. He's like, "What should I do? What should I do? What should I do?" You know, with Jim, I said, "Well, this is what it is." Well, then my brother, he doesn't really know how to show compassion. My brother doesn't know how to tell I love you. My brother doesn't know how to praise Jim. Hey, you did a good job. You know, after Jimmy got sworn in as an officer, and he said, "Well, work well. Make sure you go back to school and get your education and move up to be the sergeant." You know, I said, "Leave him alone. You know, he just graduated from academy. Let him work his way up. You know." So now that he's gone, they just have his fourth year anniversary. I didn't get chance to attend. It was in Stockton, California, so I didn't get to fly to see to participate. But here it's hard every year, thinking that I can get over the mourning and the loss of my nephew. I mean, I can forget here and there, but when I see his picture and that smile, that his chinky smile, when he smile, his eye shut, like you never see his eye when he smile. He doesn't have a small eye, but his smile when his eye just shut like this. Because it's just the way Jim is. So to talk about him, to think about him, it make my heart throbbing because I just I just lost a great person in my life, and it's so hard to forget, and it's so hard to get over. So I had a big poster of him in his full uniform and that chinky smile of him. So that's the story of my family, is that I still have my other nephews who serve in Maine, in police department in Maine, and my cousin on my mom's side, he's the sergeant at San Diego Police. So he's doing good. He's an older man. So it was a great loss. Anyway, so that was a story on my side of family, is that we lost somebody great, and and that was so hard for me to get over. So when I do this crochet, and I be looking at the portrait, and I have to pause for a moment to like console myself, because it's so hard to. And that irresistible smile, he loved food for sure. And every time I cook, he loved food. He'd be the first one to finish the first dish. And by the time we started eating, he's already done his second dish. He's a big guy. He's not big. He's just a tall guy. He's a handsome little little guy, not little guy, handsome guy. He liked to eat, so he loved food. So he always like, Auntie, let's come on, let you and I race. That's what heartbreaking the most too. Every time when I cook something, I remember Jim and that like dagger in my heart. Sometimes it's hard to get over. So I came to the end already. I got the full flowers to the end. So I'm gonna make a little frill, so that way it give a nice extension. I'm gonna do three petals of flowers. So I have 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then I'll do the frill, so that way it does not look plain on the tip of the on the tip of our scarf here. Okay, it's gonna have that beautiful and dangler. So that is the thing with my family, is that I lost a great love of my life, my nephew, who born to my mom, firstborn, my brother. So after Jimmy died, um, my my brother marriage was rocking, and he's already start talking with different people online, and finally he was scammed with a lot of money, and he lost a lot of money, almost $100,000 of money that he lost to people in Cambodia. There's a lot of scam in Cambodia. So my brother believed that he was investing the money with people in Cambodia, and he ended up losing all the money. And he met them on Facebook, and once those women were done with him, they just turned off the Facebook, and there he was, gone. They would retrieve the money, and then when my sister found out that the monies are gone, so it just gotten harder in the relationship. It's not mendable, and my brother never admit his fault, and he said that he was going to give every dollar back to the family. And then he went on and flirting with a lot of young women online. He finally finally caught with this lady online, and she's only 21, a fair looking girl, with makeup. She looked gorgeous. Without it, just a regular girl to me. So he think that she was in love with him. So yeah, so he was in love with this girl. He left my sister-in-law and divorced her, and they sold the properties and split the money in half. I mean, split the money in half, and he took all the money to to please his new wife. They got married, and expensive wedding, lavishing wedding, and yeah, the money that he lost to being scammed never got back, never retrieved, and the money that was made from the soul of the house was a lot of money. He took that money to Cambodia too. So I love my sister-in-law though. I mean, she's a woman of great integrity. She, through all this, losing two men in her life, and my brother was her only love that she know, the only man she been with for what, 30 years, 31 years, 32 years. And she lost him to some damsel in Cambodia. That beautiful, innocent face didn't care. So when they have this lavishing wedding, it went exploding on social media. It was like a lot of a lot of sharing videos, and people like, wow, this girl, she born from lucky from the start, to find this old man who pour all the heart, pour all the money, and get her everything she need, and this fabulous wedding, that this wedding venue is only for the rich and important people. It's only people with money will be able to afford this kind of wedding on this kind of setting. So then my brother blocked everybody, my family, so we didn't see anything. But then people share. I saw it on Facebook, and finally it popped on my Facebook. My friend keep sharing the photos, sharing the videos, of my brother weddings, and a lot of people like, it's a big deal, like this rich American man. He's old, still look good, and he had this young lady fall in love head over heels. She's one of those lucky lady born, and everybody is saying all the beautiful stuff, like what you call it, extolling, like praising. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, really? How come the story switch around? How come they didn't hear the ugly part of this relationship, and that how she come in, and that literally took a good relationship away? So my friend, I tell her, stop sharing the video. So I started to unfriend people who share the videos, because I don't want it. I don't get it. I don't get straight information, because my brother had blocked us because he got upset when I went to Cambodia. I wasn't receptive to his his new bride, so he was upset. He blocked me. I didn't get invited to his wedding. It's fine. I'm not going anyway. So then he was adamant about the whole thing. So, but people who knew me well, I'm in the community for 40 something years. Of course, they know that I'm related to my brothers. So they started sharing information and sharing photo and wedding, the whole bit. So I said, okay, well, let me do something different. So I started making comment, and that comment went virals also, and they want to know who I was, and they want to know a little bit of juicy information. So I spill the beans. I just say exactly, hey, this is not peach and milk here, milk and peach here. You know, this wedding right here is not what it seemed to be. It looked lavishing, but then guess who's paying for it? His ex-wife. So that alone, I mean, everybody cut and paste, and posted that, and the truth came out, and man, it went ugly. So yeah, So in about 3 weeks after that, I mean, he he has all the content removed. I guess the baby girl got hurt over the comment. They make derogatory comment about her now. When they find out that that is not all that beautiful, it was ugly. It's ugly because how could a 21 years old capable of doing such and such? She's supported by her parent. Her parent agree because she, I mean, agreed to all of that. So it's what I'm doing right now. So then now I don't see them posting any of the wedding or all that glamorous wedding and common and people dying over like more than a celebrities. Like, extremely important. So yeah, all the YouTube took down all that content already. So I'm like, oh wow, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm still have a very good relationship with my former sister-in-law. I call her once in a while just to check in with her, and so she have to work to support herself and paying for the mortgage because she collaterals the house and give the portion that my half of the portion to my brother. So now the mortgage that she have to do another 30 years of mortgage because the mortgage was already done. The house was already paid for, but now she have to start the mortgage all over. So she seemed okay, the way she said that, yeah, sister, what can I do? I divorced him already. That hurt as much as losing Jimmy. So it's just a virtual woman, and that was painful. So that's what got me going crazy also, because I cannot believe that, because for me, I went through a lot of issue in my relationship too, the abuse and all that. But my brother was not like that. So my brother's always like the perfect couple in the Inn family, because he was the firstborn, and the marriage was arranged, and they love each other though. I mean, they got 2 children, and they make a fine living. They had a lot of money, but then after he got scammed and all the money was taken from them, and so there was a big loss. He wanted to retire in Cambodia with his new wife. And I heard that he want more kids. So then I just sit back and I don't do anything else. I don't interact, and I don't voice my opinions. I just, the only person I talk to is his wife, his ex-wife. That's all. I got nothing to do with him. I'm just, I'm done. I'm done with him, for him to do that kind of shitty stuff to family, to his wife especially, who just suffered great loss of the son, and then he was having great time with his new wife. I mean, so it's something that I have to deal with in my family. Other than that, I don't really have issue with anybody else like I have issue with. I feel the pain was toward my sister-in-law. Losing her son was like the hardest thing for her, and then have to deal with his infidelities and divorce, and he went to marry somebody 3 times as young. Even younger than his own daughter. His younger daughter even older than his new wife. How do you explain that? Make that make sense? But you never know. I mean, people fancy. I seen not just my brother who does that. My girlfriend does that same way too. She was, I think she was a year or 2 years younger than I am. She's in her 60. I think she's about 58 when she went to Cambodia, and she married to a 21 years old man too. And I saw on Facebook, and she was like exchange all the love, of messages on Facebook, like proclaim each other. I'm like, dang, girl, how long this gonna last? And I don't see her on Facebook anymore. I don't think it lasts that long. I think her relationship, that young man probably left her. I mean, I don't talk to her since many years ago, so it was not my business. So I never get into her business. So I just leave her alone. So it's talking about people who going to their own country or another country and marry young wife and young girls and thinking that's going to be like um, the eternal love. Well, there's some cases that that last and for real. Sometimes, a lot of time, it's just for the money, just or for the ticket to come to America. And that's what's going on in the Cambodian communities, that all the people who married to American citizens in preparation to come to America, which is a great length to go do a thing like that. I mean, not just in Cambodia, who men or women who want to come to America and have to marry somebody from this nation to come here. I mean, in Philippines, in Cambodia, in Laos, in Thai, and I can name a few, right? I mean, that also constitute the what do you call it, bride order male order bride. Also, all the fraudulence and all that. I seen that too because I work in the community. Believe me or not, those kind of things happen all the times. Where people get paid to marry somebody and bring them here for green cards and citizenship. And I had a friend who was a younger man, a younger age than I am. He went to do just exact for that. He went to marry someone and brought him here and got them establishment, and then he divorced and he went back, and he repeatedly doing that like the third time when he finally impregnated the third one. You know, after he bring him here like 4 or 5 years later, when they got the green card, he will divorce and then he'll go back and marry and bring someone new. He did that for 3 times. So the third time I think he pregnant somebody. So, but I think he's still in Cambodia. Something that he did. I think he has a criminal record where he's no longer able to come back to America. So the last time he sent me the messages was about 5 years ago, and that, hey sis, don't call me sis. You have a good time, good life over there. Have fun. Don't 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 call me. So I don't know whether poor guy now, not poor guy, what he did was not right. But he got at least 3 women come to America and got their establishment. I don't know if they get citizenship or not though. But then he brought them and he left them when he got green card, and he went back and get some more. I think I think the fourth one that he got in trouble, that he wasn't able to bring neither himself or her over here, and he got stuck in Cambodia. I think that's what he's trying to call me and see if I can help him bring him back home, because I do those kind of immigration services. And I said, nope, stay there, safer. So I guess he couldn't come home. Maybe he lost his his citizenship, or he lost his card, or whatever, the money that he wouldn't be able to, or the lady didn't pay the money and he ended up staying with them or something. But I didn't have the information. But then the guy would not be able to come back to America. That's too many years ago. Now with Trump administration, forget it. He ain't coming home. Stay there. Enjoy. Enjoy the young woman. All the young women in Cambodia. Enjoy the man. Because you won't get one like that in Cambodia. Sad it is. But I know what my community is all about, and I know what Cambodian women, majority of Cambodian women is all about. So I know the games. I know their game so well. And a friend here too. He just went to Philippines. He met this beautiful young woman, probably 2 3 times younger, and he's head over heels. And we were just telling him that he he was on disability. He's not working, so he's on disability living in Philippines. He fell in love with this girl. He married her, and he's not going to come home. So I have my sweetheart send him a message saying, well, make sure that you report to the government that you're no longer living in the United States. If you're living in another country, then they have to prorate your living expenses. You may get all the benefit cut off, or you may get benefit reduced, depending what country you're living in. So if you're not on retirement, if you're on disability, state disability, um, or disability SSI, you cannot be collecting it in another country in full benefit. You get cut off, or you get cut off completely. So a lot of people don't know that. They think that, well, you'd be fit for good. And so we're just thankful that we were able to give him that information. Well, that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that if you're going to go live in another country and you on SSI disability, and your income may get reduced or cut completely, and if you fail to report, then you're going to have overpayment, and overpayment can be repaid in lump sum pay, or a lump sum, or monthly payment. They cut what, 10 or 15% out of your paycheck until the overpaid amount is paid for. We also have a friend who live in California. She has a son, and she was on SSI benefit too, and I don't know where she got the two Mercedes and some money in the bank and all that. And when the government found out that she has some money in the bank and she have asset and all that, so they cut her benefit. They cut her benefit, and she hasn't been back on. She lost everything. She wasn't able to pay for the Mercedes. She hasn't been able to pay for the rent, and often call over here and say, "Can you please help? Can you please help? I love to help you, but then you've been on this case for 4 years. You should have a full-time job and take care of yourself already." And that's what people don't understand, is that once you on benefit in America, is that this chance is that you get cut off if you commit fraudulent, especially if you're on government payrolls. I mean, government um, benefit that funded by the taxpayer. You have to understand that you cannot have asset more than $2,000 if you single. If you couple, then you can't have more than $3,000 in the bank, at home, anywhere. So people say, "Well, I didn't know that." Of course you do. You sign it. Your signature was on your application when you first initiative application. You sign it. You understood that when you have and that you have to report any change, and you don't report your change. If you win the lottery, you didn't report. Or if you win, um, if you have gift, if you work, if someone die, you get married, or any kind of change, you have to report within 10 days. Otherwise, then there'll be repercussions. Sometimes they don't catch up with you until years later, sometimes 10 years later, and then remember 10 years later, you have all that cumulative back pay. That means that you have enough, they just cut you off. They don't deal with you. No more benefit for you. And lucky they don't arrest you for fraudulent. So that's what we're telling our friend, that here we go. The little fell, I had to follow here. So just stop. Stop. If you're disabled, you can't work, you can't work. If you're disabled, said you're disabled, but you go work and have under table money, and make extra money over the top of the benefit, and that's fraudulent. Same thing for people on any type of government assistance. If you can work, go work. Go be free of any kind of auditing of being audited, because the government will get to you. They have system that will track you down. I just got a recently deal with my good friend, was a former client from Stockton. She called me up and said, "Oh, I need your help because Social Security sent me a letter, said that they want to see me in person. So I'm scared." I said, "What are you scared of?" I said, "Well, because she liked to gamble, so she has some winning a ticket that's over $500. Is anything over $500, you have to report. In fact, if anything over $50, you have to report. They may not cut you off, but then you have to report. But then this person, she has a few winning ticket that over 1,000 or over $2,000. So she's not about to report. She doesn't think that the government would catch up with her. So now that she has this appointment that she have to go see them, so she asked me, what should I say? What should I say? Just say exactly that you was some of this winning money was during the lockdown, and that you got tired of staying home, so your kid take you to the casino, and that you're just learning how to gamble, and you have some winning ticket, and then normally she will lose all the winning money for real. I mean, just say it for real. You lost all your winning money, and they want to see the receipt, and and a W, whatever the form that the winning ticket was. So give that to them, and they want to see the receipt of the money that how you utilize the money. If you win, if you lose all the money to gambling, all your winning money, you put it back to the machine, then you don't make money. So just if you do make money, then how do you spend your money? Get them the receipt. If you don't have receipt, then well, they're going to take a cut from your check. So she was all worried, and sure enough, she have to provide all the proof of her winnings and get the printout from the casino. And now she had overpaid, so the government start cutting some of her check and repay her overpayment. And then, so a lot of things going on in Asian community. I mean, I'm not bashing my own community, but I'm sure that there's stuff like that going on in every community too. But I'm just speaking about my community because I have to deal with them direct and indirectly. Work in the community as a community advocate. I got all kind of cases. I got all kind of fraudulent. Like when the PPE loan, a lot of people didn't understand that, especially for those who receiving the government benefit, and they will claim that they work in their life, and all of a sudden they have this small business loan in the names, and it paid out to them, and they didn't realize that the guy who did the application for them took more than half of the money and give them just a little bit of money, and then yeah, for that, I mean, the PP loan was like a big mess because we have to deal with it. People will come to us crying because Social Security figured out that, how come this person had this much money? How come they never report that they have own business? How come they never report that they work or have a wager? So then it's a big mess. Like the last few years, that's all we've been doing, is just to help people figure out how the government going to cut back because of the benefit that they've commit fraudulent. First of all, they took the loan, and and they got a big cut from people who did them loan. I mean, people who did the loan are the big fraud. They got all the applicant and have them establish the bank account, and the money is supposed to go to the recipient account, but no, because prepare, have all the information. So once the money hit the recipient account, and recipient don't speak the language, don't read the ink, don't read, can't read. So how can you tell where the money goes? So he would transfer the money from the recipient account onto his account. By the time you know it, he make millions. And then Social Security red flag rise up in a lot of cases and send them a letter, say, hey, we need you to explain to us where did you get all this money, and the loan that you applied for, and this much, and la la la. And people said, what? The government found out that I applied for this loan, now I have to pay them back, and they'd be crying at us at the agency. So we had a lot of people, the older people, who don't understand the process, so they come crying because now the government's cutting off their benefit, and then the PP loan want them to pay back also. Now they have double trouble. So there's a lot of mess going on. And then yeah, the guy who initiated this loan application, he's pretty rich. Some of them had fled to Cambodia and didn't come back because they had enough money just to go live abroad with all that money that he took from the to disabled and elderly people. Yeah, so with that process, left a lot of people entangled with governments, and I work closely with a good friend of mine who was detective in the area, and I report most of the cases to him, and he worked with a district attorney to help prosecute the person. But most of which are already fled the country. They're not stupid. They make good money. If they um, have $1 million, even $1 million, then he's not going to come back. He just go buy himself a beautiful wife and live in Cambodia. How likely is American government going to go over there and bring them back with justice? Same thing for my ex-husband when he got in trouble with his lover. I exiled him to Cambodia, and he never going to come back home. Yeah. So that's how it is in the community. In the Asian community, it's just ugly. I mean, they're so smart. They know how to move among the systems. They know how to they they know how to get the system work. And that's why I said a lot of people born in America don't even know how things work, how the system work. But because some of the Asian connected with a lot of mob and a lot of people who does the crooked thing. So when that crooked behavior go around the community, and it just people get thrilled out of it, think that wow, it's such a big deal, and do such and such. But then they didn't realize that come with repercussions. So we had a lot of people crying. So when I move here now, I don't have to deal with that, and I'm sure that still a lot of cases going on that need to be processed. So with the PP loan, a lot of elderly people who don't speak the language, that was being misled to, and their identity being stolen for the benefit, and it's ugly. A lot of things happen in the Asian community, and if I talk about it, you will say, "Dang, yeah, they are. Some of them are ugly, but I'm trying to remember the most beautiful part about working in the community is I got to help a lot of family members and uh, advocate for their needs and their yeah to help improve their life. That I'm with, but about other fraudulent behavior that I don't want even to help with. Even now, I still have people calling me almost daily, just to ask for interpreting. The hospital is still calling and working with with the patient. The thing about working in the community, that it's just that great rapport, the connection with the family and with the people in the community. It's just a beautiful kind of relationship that you're not finding anywhere, because I feel the love from the community. I know my my work make a big difference for their lives, and with that I take pride and dignity in my work. Though in Las Vegas, I have not done much. I connect with a few people that did reach out to me when I went to the monastery here in town. I gotten to meet a lot of Cambodian, and when I check the statistic, demographic, where the Khmer population here, they have not updated the 2020 census record yet, but based on 2010 census, there's about 2,000 Cambodian live in Las Vegas. That's that's very low considered uh, um, considered to the demographic population in Stockton or in San Jose or even Long Beach and even Massachusetts throughout the nation. But I was surprised when I visit the Lao Temple and I see the large community from that community. I was impressed. So so this is what I'm doing right now is to add this beautiful frill here toward the end of the scarf. Okay, so this is the other end is what I'll be doing on both sides. Okay, right now I'm just working singly on this side. I have about halfway through, so it add a little dimensional and a beautiful dangler here. Okay, this is the edging. So it comes together beautifully. See? Yeah, I just do the 3 petals. That worked really well. And, so you hear the stories. It's real. I'm not, I never shared this before because I always had respect for my community. Um, disregards of some of the crazy stuff that people do to damaging each other. But other than that, I love the community. I think I know that a lot of Khmer, Laos, Cambodians, and the Khmer and the Cambodian are the Vietnamese and any kind of ethnic race. There are a lot of good people out there, honest and loving and benevolent and and honest people. Yeah, but then they still feel bad apple in the basket. That one bad apple or few bad apple in the basket will, will eventually damage the whole basket full of fruit. So that's why we recognize that people who commit fraudulent, I only can refer them to law enforcement and have them figured out with the law enforcement, because when it comes to that level, it's out of my jurisdiction. I can't do anything to help them, save for work with the law enforcement to get the report and to get everything straightened up at that level. Now, if they're a victim, also work with the court, with the law enforcement. Also, I don't forsake anybody. If they're victim, then we have to treat them accordingly. If if they are the crook, and then we have to treat them accordingly to their crimes. I also have family and friends that, not family, well, only one of my family members that was hard gang members, and I think he committed murders and he got deported. But a lot of people that I know in the community, and the sons, their husband got deported back to Cambodia. which is this is this initiative and the new law that imposed by President Trump is not new. It started with the initiated with the three strikeout when there's a three strikeout law um, will pass, and they start importing a lot of Southeast Asian back home already. Okay? And people ask me, what if a person is born in Thailand in a refugee camp? Why aren't they being deported back home to the land where they were born? Because Thailand in a refugee camp, I don't know how the system worked, right? But I just know that people who were born in a refugee camp in Thailand are not being deported back to Thailand. They're being deported back to their motherland, their parents' land. So people often ask me that why aren't they deported to Thailand? Because being refugee from the foreign land, you're not giving the full birthright. They don't grant you with birthright, nor would they give you the citizenship to the land because you're born in a refugee camp and then seek and left refugee camp to another world. So there's no birth certificate produced, and there's no form of document given or honored by Thai government. So you know that you were born in a refugee camp, but none has birth certificate. So when someone get in trouble with offenders like serious as felonies, and yes, it's chance that you get deported back to your motherland, not the land that you were born in a refugee camp, because refugee camp they don't honor your birthright. So then I have to explain this to people. Is that, well, it's not fair because I don't know Cambodia. There's not much I can do if you break the law. So there's repercussion and consequences. And no one think about that before they been out and kill somebody, you know. So with Trump administration, it posts fear on every community, especially my own community as well. You know, though people don't talk about it, but I think I will start talking about it, and I will have to speak in their native language, native tongue, so that way they understand. Still, a lot of elderly who does not understand English that well. So what I'll do is that I will trying to incorporate into my podcast or my live streaming in a native language. It will be a great influence and information to share with my community as well. I have been doing all this live show in English only. I want to target English speaking audience. It's been very receptive, and I like that a lot. I get a lot more response from the English speaking audience. Though I have a lot of people from another country, they send me a message say, "Hey, hello from Russia, from Turkestan, from India." So it's just so nice to see that the vast audience of mine are not are not in U.S. in foreign land. I don't know how we communicate because all that is in English, save for some of my pre-recorded videos, some of them in Thai, some of them in Cambodian. I understand that will YouTube will try to connect audience in that regions. Other than that, I think I don't even know how we communicate in Russia or Turkestan or in India. You know, so I assume that they are more English speaking people in that region as well, which is great. You know, make our job easier. I hope you guys are doing well today. I wanted to cook today. Um, I cooked something early today for my sweetheart, but I didn't record it. I made homemade French fry and turkey burgers. I think he ate two of them. So I'm featuring my cooking show in the back there. So I was telling the audience earlier that this is a studio that Stone Paxton recorded his song, write his song, and where he produced the music for all his clients, and also the studio where I often come to do my cooking video editing through the program back here with Final Cuts Pro that he taught me how. So it was helpful for me to be able to understand the systems and execute those work myself. And because he's such a busy man, today I take a day off and allow me to come into his his working spot here and take over his whole studio by myself. It's just a beautiful studio. I love it here. I can feel so much energy, positive energy, and beautiful energy here because the music does bring that kind of vibe, that kind of energy, where music is it is a beautiful platform for everybody. It can heal, music can bring unity, music can bring love and serenading, and it share emotion, it share all kind of feelings. I mean, for me, when I go through my ups and downs, I seem to tune into music to help, just to help with soothing the emotion. Whether I'm sad or I'm happy, and songs sound differently on each emotion. If you're sad and you listen to sad music and you're starting to feel even sad or sadder. If you're happy and then you listen to upbeat song and you want to move and dance along with the song and sing and croon along the song. But when you're in a sad, depressing mood, and then when you hear the song, you're not happy, make you cry, you'll turn it off, you don't want to hear the song. So it depends. For me, growing up partly in Cambodia, I was exposed to early music by one great, um, the legend. He was killed already, and he's always do it. His female a colleague that they do it song together. It may not be thousand, but there are hundreds of songs that they sing together, and such a great pair. So these two legend here, well, all the musicians, all the artists, all the important people, most of them, they were unalived by the Khmer Rouge. When the Khmer Rouge taken over, they started killing everybody, especially people who had some kind of establishment, who, people that can read and write, people that are in a in the service, and the dignitarians, and anybody who have light complexion and some kind of education background, they be annihilated um, for that period of time. They believe about 4 years, and they kill over 2 millions. So when I was in Cambodia, we was driving through Bang Kamping Pui. This is like a huge reservoir about 10 miles long, in circulations. It was a gloomy day, it was gloomy because it was rainy and it rained hard. We were driving on the canal, and it started to feel gloomier, driving on the canal and looking to my left. I was on the front passenger, and this huge reservoir, it had nothing but just, because when the rain comes and the water is just got polluted, with mud and stuff like that, so it's not even clear. So I remember Bunga Bimpu, which is full of lotus and aquatic plants. But then it looked gloomy because then you see like dead branches um, sticking out on the water and surface and all that. So I look over and I feel kind of gloomy, kind of sad, kind of striking my emotions. So I started talking with my cousin and said, "Oh, how come this place looks so feels so gloomy, feels so sad?" So she said, "Oh, you didn't know the history about this place here? No, tell me about it." So my oldest cousin and her family didn't make it to Thailand. They were one of the family that were forced into work camp and they survived the Holocaust. So I said, "Oh, this is the place where me and the rest of your cousin are forced to work here and digging the canal here, digging this reservoir here." I said, "What?" "Yeah, we spent 4 years digging this, making this reservoir here, and thousand of people lost their life buried here, and that's why you feel the spirit here." So I started crying, man. I feel so sad, and knowing that this is like a killing holes, and people had lost their life building the canal, digging the ground, making a reservoir, water reservoir. And she said, "Yeah, my sister and I got sent here, and we were building canal. We dug up the dirt from the bottom, and then we staggering it up and into into roadway and down by the collect the water is supposed to help with the irrigation. So then you're building a reservoir and then building the canal at the same time. So we had this huge canal, two-way road, and a 10-mile long. And it's a big canal. It's a big reservoir." So she was telling me, "Yeah, we spent what 3-4 years over here building this canal. Everybody was forced to work with just a few grain of rice, and a lot of people die here." And that's it. I started bawling, and I went out and started do some videotaping, and I was crying, and the rain pouring hard, and I have the videos of it. I will have to show it to you guys on YouTube. Um, I collect some of the footnotes and make some notation to it. So 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers is about, it's, I think kilometers is shorter than miles. So probably about 8 miles, 9 miles. But still, that's a distance for a canal that built out of reservoir, and the reservoir that big is almost like a whole basin. So with that experience, I know that I have talked to a lot of Khmer Rouge survivor, Pol Pot survivors, but talking to my family to hear their pain and their sufferings and how they survived through that time of turmoil, and to live the experience and to be able to put all that behind and start a family, and that's just like me leaving the country, cross the border to Thailand, and then cross the seven sea to America. I was taking a lot of risk. So I spent about 10 days with my cousin in Cambodia, and the rest of the time I was in Thailand. I didn't like the energy, how I received the energy in Cambodia. It was a different energy. I didn't feel safe anymore. I don't trust people anymore. I don't even trust my own family. I'm afraid that the bad thing going to come back, and that the Khmer Rouge is going to come back and overtake the country. And I started having that paranoid feelings. So I crossed the border on foot with my mom, uh, with a driver back to Thailand, because I landed in Thailand and went on foot crossing the border to Cambodia with with my family, with my uncles and other family members. So it was a great experience. I was able to visit great temple of Angkor Wat and a few other prominent temple. I visited the um, great temples and Bob Island, where the mining field and stuff like that. So my cousin said, "Oh, when you walk in this region, make sure your eye cast down. You never know, you'll find one big diamonds or not diamond, big rubies or sapphire. You know, here I am looking. You know, I couldn't take my eye off the dirt. And like, if I find one of um, even a few carat uh, of raw uh, minerals, I will be so happy. You know, I know I didn't find any, but but I went to the gem shop and I bought a few, no, two good size rubies. I love rubies, so I wanted to be able to make a ring for my sweetheart and perhaps one for myself. So that was still my my project that I have to do. And then while I was in Thailand, I spent a great deal of time with my family, and because my mom believed that her health gonna get deteriorate, and she wanted to go ahead and make this trip. May not be her final trip, but she said she wanted to be able to make this trip. And with this trip, we did something even more elaborate. My mom, we have sent some money ahead and to build stupa, a jetty for my for my for my grandparents and for the family who had passed. Because in Thailand, when someone passed, they cremated and they put the remain in the urns, either to bring to keep it at home, or they take it to the monastery and keep it in the monastery. And it's not a proper place to honor your ancestors. So by building the jetties or jedi or stupa, you have a private spot. Actually, we bought the plot for a good amount of money and bought the already built stupa. It just it's a beautiful for a resting place for my ancestor, resting place for the remain, the ashes of my ancestors. So it was great to be able to do that. So my family, my kids, and my brothers and sisters and family pitching in and to help build the stupa for my family, for my ancestors, and my my grandfather and my grandmothers and my late uncles. But my father's stupa was in another town, in another province. And my dad wanted to always, at the end of my dad's life, he always wanted to go home. So when he died, I have his ash taken back home and we built a stupa in a small town with his sisters and his family, his mom and dad. So then so I have two stupa going on in Thailand in different province. My dad hometown town and my grandparent hometown. So that was nice to have this beautiful stupa built. And so my mom was happy about that. She said, if I die, um, so I asked her, Mom, if something were to happen, what would you like me to do? You know, would you want me to take you back home so you can be with your family in the resting community, or you want to remain here with me, or what's your plan? So she hasn't given me an answer yet. If she want to be here, and we'll keep her here. If she wanted to be with her family, I will have her remain taking to be with her family. It's a great thing to do, you know. They'll always still have a lot of family member behind, remain in Cambodia and Thailand. But my aunt remains and her husband remain are being kept at home. So when I visited her house, they built a shrine full of full of urns of remains of different family members. So I mean, I I gather, I mean, some people respect their ancestors and their resting family members at home, and that's what they do. They they look at it as their their protectors, that they will help fight the bad spirit and keep the bad spirit away by keeping their deities and their families remaining at home. When I tried to do that with my dad, I kept my dad urns at home, and my mom didn't like it because she was freaking out and she didn't want me to hang up his picture, and she was acting all kind of strange behavior. So I couldn't have my dad picture hang at home. I can't have his urns at home. So when I have all that removed, she was okay. She said she didn't want to see it. She said that she's seen him enough when he was alive, and she didn't want to see him after he's dead. So I'm like, oh man. And then all his family members got a big portrait of him. It was like 25 by 20, big wall hangers. And I was happy because it was in a beautiful gold frame. And I hung in the living room. My mom come out, she freaked out, said, take it down. I don't want to see him. It was a big picture, I mean. So I took it down. I didn't want to freaking her out. I think she's scared of him. And then and I have Officer Jimmy photo. Um, no, I have his his photo also his. So I couldn't hang it up either because my mom's scared of looking at the photos. So I kept all the photo in my rooms to myself. Because I know some people say, "Well, don't keep." No, no, it's okay. I can deal with that. So now my dad is resting in Thailand along with his parents and his siblings. It was nice. This happened in COVID-19, but I didn't visit with my dad when I was in Thailand because my mom didn't want to see him. So next time when I do travel by myself, I will spend some time with with the family on that side, on my dad's side. And my mom didn't care for my dad's side of family as much, but she went to spend time with her own family. It's understandable. But next time when I make a trip, I will make sure that I will get to see some of the family members on my dad's side and to pay respect for my dad, stupa. Even though his remainder is 10,000 miles away, but you can feel that he's still here and his love is still here, his legacy is still here with me. So that's kind of energy and feeling I carry with my dad, because taking care of him so that many years, I still feel his presence, his love. And 3 days after he passed, he came to me. I was sleeping. I was laying straight on my forehead, and all of a sudden I feel the brush on my forehead. I think my dad came to just visit with me before he take off to another side of the rainbow, and I feel him. Right. And I have a few dreams of him. It's good dreams. But for my nephew, I had one awful dreams. I know what's going on with my nephews. His widow, she was a good woman, and she remarried, which is nice transition. whatever she need to help her move on and to overcome her loss and her mourning and all that. And so she would marry to a nice young man now and probably happier. So just a couple of years ago, I was visiting with my daughter, and I was driven into a deep sleep, and my spirit took me all the way to the burial ground where my nephew was buried. And I was standing on the top of his headstone and where he was buried, and all of a sudden the earth moved, and then it didn't scare me at all. And then his casket rose up all the way to the top, and it opened. And I'm sorry, the casket wasn't open, but the earth opened and the casket rose up. So then he was talking to me. He said, "Auntie," in a very like sad voice. He said, "Look down." He invited me to look down beneath. Well, the casket raised up and it moved out of the way so I can see down beneath um, the buried hole. So I looked down, and he said that there will be 7 coffins beneath me, 7 more coffins beneath me. I said, 7 more coffins beneath you. But he didn't say anything else, and I wasn't frightened. I was just like still with a disbelief what he was telling me, to look down into the hole, the burial hole, and tell me that there would be 7 casket beneath him. Remember now, he's the only first casket there. I think if his widow want to be buried on the top or on underneath of him, I don't know what she had to make the arrangement. Now that she's remarried, I'm not sure what her resting community be like. So then I woke up. I never got chance to say anything else. I'm looking down. It was pitch dark. So I never understand what he was trying to tell me. Yeah. What does the 7 coffin beneath him mean? So up until this day, I still don't understand what the meaning of my dream was. Even I was talking to some of my friends who, my elderly, she was said, "Yeah, your nephew trying to tell me that somebody is somebody gonna go down." So I was like, "For what?" So I said, let's not be that. Jimmy's son, he looked exactly like him. He smiled. The eye was missing. He's such a cute boy. I don't get a chance to see him at all when I move here. I only see him when his mom posts his picture online. Then I get to see him. Other than that, I don't get to see him. I haven't got a chance. Well, I visit him a couple times in the past few years. Other than that, I have not seen him. For 2 years, I have not seen him for real. And that because I have not visiting during his memorial service, because the city, the law enforcement in the city would do the memorial service for him every year. They had a small gathering of honoring him at the burial site. See, I finished one side of my scarf. Okay, so I'm going to do on both sides, but then I'm just going to show you how I ended this with a beautiful 3 petal flowers for the frill. So it adds about another 3 inches the scarf here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you be. I've been here a while now, and I will finish it up, and I'm just gonna do thumbnail picture for you, or send you guys some more photo of the finishing both of the scarf. Okay, so here we go. Let's put it back on. And once I finish this, so both side of the scarf, both end will have this beautiful adorn here, because look at that. Yeah, it's gonna cascade down beautifully. Yeah. Okay. This is all the work that I been put my energy on for some time now. So I'm gonna finish it up today. So I have this done and be ready. Once I ready to give it away, I will do that. I reward my TikTok followers and my YouTube followers as well. So I'm gonna do a lot of lottery draw up, and whoever be the lucky person to receive some beautiful crochet. Okay, I like this color right here. It's such a neutral color. It go well with any kind of any kind of clothes. You know, I mean, anything I wear it go well because it's neutral color. It can be brown, can be black, can be white. It'll go well. You know, it's not a um, it's not a this is a bilateral, so it go well with any clothes. Or you can wear it downward, you know, or you can styling it, and you can do whatever you want to do with your scarf that you love doing, you know. I mean, yeah, but right now it don't make sense because it's so hot. but it'll start making sense when it get warm, I mean cooler, you know, when the snow come, when the blizzard comes, and when it's so cold out there and you just want to wrap around your neck, you know. So yeah, so there you go. So there's more than one way to dress uh, your your scarf. Okay, so the most common style wrapping my scarf around my neck is to combine both and just do a simple um, scarf wrapping, you know, like that, you know, and it's snuck down to it's snuck your neck here, keep you warm, and you display this frill right here, and it's going to be beautiful and cascade down and look like you like a sophisticated woman. You like that? Yeah, right. So just consider that that I'm gonna draw names. So make sure that you follow me regularly, and uh, that you send me comments and stuff like that. Stay connected with me. You know, you might be the lucky one. I'm gonna give out a couple, not a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna maybe I'll do this once a year or every 6 months or so. Right. So I'm not done. I'm just waiting to I'm just gonna go on my own and finish this side. I'm already done one side, but yeah, with the edge and edging. With that, I did um, three petal flowers, rumdol flowers here. Yeah. So it's really pretty. Yeah. So I got a whole bunch of them dangling down. So pretty. Look at that. Right. All right, then tomorrow we convene, and I'm gonna make dessert. I think I have to make dessert because I have so many dessert items that I bought that I probably need to oh, hold on, no, I already got a meat thaw out. I wanted to make chicken patty tomorrow. Okay, if I have more time I might come back and do dessert, so that way you guys can have me here twice. Right, so today I have this scarf that I wanted to finish, and I'll do that when I get home tonight, and I will post my completed scarf. So I'm so happy that I'm able to like recollected the memories of bring back this what do you call it, pattern. So now I have pattern of my own recorded on my videos. So now if I forgot, I just go back and click on my videos, and And of course, when I'm not doing anything else, we can come back and make the beautiful headband. Remember, if I can find it, the beautiful headband where I'm going to show you how to crochet roses, make champaga, make not champaga. Champaga is too small. What you call it? The Romdual flowers. I have it somewhere. I don't even know. Oh, here we go. This flower here. Okay. This is simple enough. So something that you can do at home too. We can do maybe a neckband. In fact, maybe that's what I'll do too. I'm just gonna do the neckband where you can wear it this way. You can incorporate with your outfit. In a different design. I think. What do you think? It's just a fun idea, okay? Because I like creating stuff like this. So something like this that I can create and share with you. Because just like fashion designer, they come up with all kind of beautiful um, design. So I have my collections of needles here. So there's just a few. I lost so few. I think when I went when I travel and I lost so many. I think I have about 7 of these. So I only have 5 left. I lost two different sizes. So this is the brand that I I'm comfortable with because it has such a wide handle. It helps when you do a lot of crochet. Sometimes your hand get tired and it get burnt. But this right here, it help with the grip. So, and I have about 60 of crochet needles. I'm not kidding. I have like a tiny one and I have a big one. I had one that's about that big, and there's some of that big. I don't have that big, but I have one that like maybe the largest about that size, and you can create some sort of blanket with it. All right, so I'm closing out, and hopefully that you come back tomorrow. I'm gonna make chicken patty, and I had that chicken patty done in the past, but then someone requested. In fact, I was making the banana wrap the other day, and now people want me to make some more. So I'm just go ahead and make them some more and find if I can get the ripened bananas. And I already have the sticky rice. I have the coconut milk, the coconut, and the coconut leaves. But the banana, the kind of bananas that I need for this cooking, I have to go look for it, purchase for it. And sorry, the linen. So if I get the banana, and I'm just gonna make some more for them. Is that, oh, do not add sugar here and there. She's like, she had this special order, like she's in a 5-star restaurant. She kept telling me that. Sorry, Belinda. She said, Vana, that banana cake, so good. Well, she speaks broken. Well, she speaks good English, but she had heavy accent. That Vana, that banana cake was good. So she's been telling me the last 3 days. So I told her that I'm gonna have to go shop for bananas. If I got the right texture bananas, I'll make some for her. And then my mom, she likes the chicken wings that I did yesterday. So I make some for today. But she still said it was good. So I still have some meat left. I'm gonna stuff it and give her some more tomorrow. And my daughter came. My baby daughter said, I want some. I saw your online making stuffed chicken wing, and I want some. So I made some for her, and she already picked it up. And then my other daughter said that when I make the steamed fish, she said, that was so good, Mom. I want you to make some more. And then my grandson, the one that's like to watch my video, he said, Grandma, he scrolled through my pages. I want some curry. I want you to make me some curry. See, now I had all these menus, orders, and if I make one time and people enjoyed it, then I have to remaking it and until people get tired of eating, and then they said, let's go make something else. But and that's just a joy that I receive from my family when I do make something and that people enjoy, that my family enjoy, and that they want some more of it. And that's what make me feel warm here in my heart, is that when they started feeling that my cooking are being valued, my cooking, my food are being appreciated, and that make me feel more motivated, want to even make even greater food, want to cook and fulfill all the cravings, if they crave for something that I create, and I get to enjoy it also, and I can enjoy to share that with you and my audience and my followers and my patriots. And that's what I do. I work around my family request, my friend requests, and my neighbors requests, and then I make enough so that I can share with them and share with family. So that's what I do. I mean, I'm not just cooking for myself. I cooking for the whole family. I cooking for friends also. So that's the great thing about being a chef, is that it's the lightness and the gladness is coming from people who enjoy your cooking and value your cooking, and that wholesome compliment about the beautiful food and vegetables and the fruits and the texture, the flavors, the what you call it, the whole thing, which is amazing, and that made me happy. When I'm happy, I just come up with all kind of great creations that I want to share. All right. So today I'm done with you. Thank you for being here for the YouTube. Um, thank you for being here, and um, for my TikTok. I appreciate you always, and please do jump over to YouTube and subscribe and send me comment so that I know that you had connected with me. Remember that I'm going to be giving away this one of the beautiful scarves. I'm gonna start crocheting a few to give you guys options of the colors and the design also, the pattern design also, so that way if somebody get lucky that wanted um, a male's pattern, then I have it ready, and then the color preference would be blue, the most, or green, or even brown. To me, my favorite color is brown and green, and I think the option is this, or if you want to order this, I charge this whole, I used to charge more. I charge about $120 for the time for the work, but I can do it for half the price. Okay, and if you're interested, you can pre-order and tell me whether for female or male, and then I will try to bring the best of. Well, I used to have the studios of the image of the work I done in the past. I don't have it with me, but I have it on Facebook. I can bring that up also, and then allow you to choose what pattern you like and when you like it, and then we can negotiate the price. All right, so we're doing good, but then I also wanted to give away one or two of my handiwork to my most royal fan, my royal followers. I'll make sure that you hop over to my Facebook, and not Facebook, I'm sorry, to my YouTube, and just holler out at me, say, hey, I follow you from TikTok. So that way I will have all the record of your guys' names. So when I do the lotteries, I will pick the name of those who quite come around often and communicate with me often, and got to build the good friendship often enough to that I can rely on you for your support every time when I have my YouTube come on, or my video come on, that you'll be right there supporting me, clicking like, clicking share, because I have all that activities monitoring, um, mo- monitor, monitoring. So I know who been here for me the most and who's not. A lot of people just scroll and pass by. A lot of people just sit here watching my show. Sometimes come back often. So I know who I should reward to. All right. So my time is complete today. I'm going to finishing up the other side of my scarf, and then we'll be good. All right. Okay. Until I be back on here again. Thank you for your patience and your participation. Have a good day, good evening. If the sunrise on your side of the country, then good morning. If the sun set in your side of country, then good evening. If the sun is in between, good afternoon. Or until I see you again. สวัสดีค่ะ